Okay, hello, good morning. My head isn't, I feel a little bit hungover today. We're trying to figure out how to deal with the baby like at night, because my girlfriend is going completely crazy. And we think we found a solution now, luckily, but that means I will feel hungover sometimes. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, we were doing this test-driven thing, and we had some issues understanding the ACT thing, because in the Excalidraw provider, we are running a use effect, which runs a promise. And what's really weird is that that promise, even though we await a promise here, which means that that promise inside the use effect is like a dangling promise, this thing actually resolves after that dangling promise, which is weird to me. Because, yeah, like the code doesn't show that. So there's probably some inside the ACT, there's probably some, it waits like an additional tick to allow any like dangling promises to resolve, which is perfectly fine, but I can't find any documentation on this, which frustrates me. But yeah, what that led to is like if we actually want to test async behavior in use effect, we can't have a normal promise there. We actually have to create like a timeout so that we have like a promise that resolves like further down the line, like after that tick. So it's, yeah, it's a bit weird to me. But as long as I know about it, it's perfectly okay. Okay, so what we did here, did we actually implement the unfocused? So we have our unfocused dirty, and okay, so what we need to do now, we need to introduce two new states, and that is moving back into a focused state. And that focused state will take care of actually go and grab the updated like go and grab the Excalidraw from the server again. And if we go to a focused dirty state, we are rather going to show a message where the user needs to decide what to do. Should they go and grab the stuff from Excalidraw, or should they just continue with their dirty changes? Okay, so let's first write some tests for this. And I should probably like test that you can move from. Yeah, maybe we can do that later. Anyways, let's write the test. Should set focused state moving away from when app becomes visible again. Okay, so we have one visibility change. I don't think we need a storage mock here. And we don't need this either, because we're going to start it in the unfocused state. And then we're going to trigger this to true, and we expect us to move into a focused state. We don't have that, so this will of course fail. And we need to introduce this focus state. And the data here is Excalidraw data. Metadata would be Excalidraw metadata. And then, well, there's quite a few states there. Focused. Yes. And then we want to make sure that like now it still fails, because we actually have to deal with focusing. So how did we do this? We have use effect. Okay, we have dispatch focus. So when it's unfocused, we should deal with the focus action, and that moves us into the focused state. And we just grab the data and metadata that we already have. Data, metadata. Well, actually at this point we don't really care about the data and metadata anymore, because we are going to go and grab the new data, but I think we can just keep it there. It's not an issue. Okay, so theoretically now, when this test runs, it should work. Yeah, and it does. Awesome. So now we are actually focused. And what we want to do when we are focused, then we kind of, okay, so we do need this, like what should we test there? Should we include the test of when moving to focused, it actually triggers the download of the storage, and then we can test that we actually got that new thing. Should set focus on download updated Excalidraw and go to edit. Okay, let's do that. So we need the storage again, and let's see, let's just copy that. I can probably abstract this a little bit. So this storage mock, we need to like add something here. So let's say, I think we can just like change the version. We don't, so we can check if the version changes. So here we move to the focus state, and this should now like, so how are we going to do this? Okay, so this is interesting because now we actually want to test that we move to the focus state, but this focus state will actually immediately trigger like a render, and that will trigger a new render, which will trigger the focused effect that goes and grabs the Excalidraw. How should we test that? Does that mean that when we go to focus now, it will immediately run the use effect and move to the new state? I think we need to test that first. Okay, so we have the storage there, but now we're going to add a new effect here. So when we're focused, we are yet again going to go and grab the Excalidraw like that, and we can just dispatch loading success and loading error. Yeah, look at this. Now this fails. Yeah, this is interesting because now, yeah, we need to do the async thing. So if I now await, because I'm running something async, but now I think, well, it's still in focus, but if I now actually treat loading success and loading error in our focused state, where are you? Focused state, focused. There we are. So if loading success, let's see. So state should be edit. Metadata. Oh, does it need an image here? Ah, oh, damn it. It's missing the image, right? Yeah. How does this work when we... Oh, sorry, we can move to loaded instead of edit, of course. Sorry, that's my bad. And I guess like if there's an error here, we actually do want to move to the error state. Like this can happen. Cool. Yeah, so now it says loaded, right? Because now we're waiting for this thing. This is so fascinating. Because now we have this dangling promise, and it's waiting for that to resolve, so we move immediately to the loaded state. But we actually want to check if we are unfocused. And then we want to can I like nest acts? Is that possible? That would be interesting. Let me try that. So we really want to do this expect inside here. But it hasn't triggered yet. So if I was to do renderer act, do this, would that do anything? Like, and then I do this? No. Or wait, it should be this, I guess. No. This is I don't like this. I hope to get some answers to this. I don't understand. Have I gotten any notifications? No. Yeah, I'm just very unsure about this promise thing, because now like getting from the storage is just a promise, which means that I'm not able to test the intermediate state of this unless I make the get like a set timeout thing, because then it's like on the next tick. Yeah, so this is actually really annoying that they have this behavior. I would much rather like just do a second act when I do. So yeah, this is really annoying, because what would make way more sense for me is that, okay, now I'm doing this. I'm doing this, and then this fires off a promise, right? But I don't want to like wait for that promise. I guess the reason they have to do it is because they want to capture the dispatch. But they didn't give an error on the other thing either. Yeah, I find this really curious. I hope there's some... I want to understand why... Oh, maybe it says something here. You test much more closely by executing pending use effect before returning. How are we going to test this? We have to find a better solution for this, because this is very confusing. Yeah, I think this create storage mock wasn't such a good idea. I actually think we need to... Okay, so let me change this. We're not going to like pass in data here and stuff. We are just going to return... Like what it does is that it takes a definition. It takes a partial of Excalidraw data or storage, sorry. So we don't have to create the whole thing. And then it returns it as let's remove this. And then it returns that definition as Excalidraw storage. This is going to cause some errors, of course. So in this case, we want to, let's see. So here we should have now get Excalidraw, and we don't really care about anything here. We just want to do async, and this is what I want to return. This is what I want to return. And then I guess for this one, there's no storage. Here we have storage. And again, this would be save Excalidraw. Which test is this? Hello, which test is it? Should set unfocused. Yeah, I think this is like, so this is, which test is it? Should set unfocused at, okay, so it wants to do like async save Excalidraw here. Create event of null. What the hell? What? How did that happen? God damn it! Oh. What? Create event? Oh, I did get this somewhere. I can't remember why. Unmocked API call. Okay, so I guess that's like what happened. Is there some way I can see exactly where? Probably not. So I don't even know which test is that fails. Okay, so we have to figure out which test fails first. That works. There we go. Am I missing something here? Should set when moving away from tab. I guess. No, we do have async save Excalidraw. Maybe it's save image. But this is confusing in itself. Like, yeah. Maybe the mock should be. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Wait a minute. This is interesting. So what we actually want to do here, we want to object assign. So we want a default implementation. Can I do like? Okay, this doesn't work. There we go. Okay, create Excalidraw. Oh, it's a promise of string. Okay. Yeah, so this should like be some random thing. Get Excalidraw async. So we have user ID string. State version 0. Metadata would be author, user ID, last updated new date, and ID. Am I missing anything? Oh, it's just complaining that I'm not having everything, I guess. Get previews. Oh my god, this is boring stuff. Like the thing is that I need to find a way to properly do this testing, and this promise thing is completely throwing me off, because I'm not able to like reason about this. So what I'm doing now, I'm creating like a default implementation, and then I can override any of these methods to allow whatever I need. Get previews. What does it return? On the array of Excalidraw metadata. Save Excalidraw. We don't really care about that one. Save image. We don't really care about that one either. Okay, so this is like the default implementation. And then we can override it in our test. So that means we should not have to do this. And the test should still run, which is good. Yes, and this is which test? I guess it's the last one. We haven't really fixed that yet. Okay, so here we want to, so the thing here is that now we actually do want, oh, did I forget to expect? So what I do want here, I want this to move to focus. That should be the first thing. Await. Async, but now this should say edit, right? Or sorry, loaded. But if I now make this get Excalidraw, I'm going to change this. I'm going to make it async promise dot resolve. No, sorry. New promise resolve set timeout resolve 0. Yeah, the problem is I actually have to resolve something. Let's see. So we have to do OMG, someone's angry. We need to resolve data. So here I want to do version 1 elements, don't care about that, and app state, don't care about that, and metadata would be whatever, last updated, new date, ID is the ID, and author would be user ID. Oops. Now I'm just testing this now to see if it behaves the way I want it to. Okay, so now you saw that now this is okay, which means that when I do like another act now without it being async, like I think if I now expect it to be loaded, it's still okay, it's still focused. So I would have to like wait another tick here. So I would like have to do again await new promise. Like this isn't working. Like this is not how we should write our tests. This is crazy stuff. I really hate this. So if I do that, and now I should be able to like now it says, yeah, because now it's loaded. Okay, so expect, so if I again do render act async and I await, well, I guess I can just do that. No. Yeah. Okay. Wow. This is mind bending. This is just nonsense. We can't work like this. How are we going to deal with this? I might be just thinking about this the wrong way. I wonder about this React test library. What the hell? I wonder how, but that's just like the act here is just, I think it just wraps. This is a light wrapper. All it does is forward all arguments to the act function if your version of React supports act. It's run to use the import for consistent. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, I really want an explanation of what is the reasoning behind the act API, and how would you like maybe there's some documentation on this. React test render. Async flow. Testing when using plain. When using. Use async utils like wait for and find by. Okay. React testing library. So maybe this is actually better because you have this. Where are these? Ecosystem. Core API. Here we go. Okay, so wait for. Your mock promises alter resolve. This is interesting. Yeah, maybe we're doing it wrong. Like, what's the mock thing? So what we would do here, we would say await, wait for. What would we do here? We would do. The problem is that the mock API instantly, like, we move into a state and that state runs an effect which runs a promise, and that promise immediately resolves, which I don't understand. Why does it immediately resolve? I don't want it to immediately resolve. Or is it because... Okay, this is interesting. So if I were to use wait for, so would I be able to just do an act to like trigger the flip to visible, for example, and then I would do a wait for on the next line, and then I could like wait for I could actually wait for the state. That would be interesting. That would be really interesting. That would solve a lot of stuff. Okay, so let's try this one instead. Yarn add, what's it called? Getting started. Blah, blah, blah. How do I install it? What's the name of it? Oh, testing library. Oh yeah. Yarn add testing library React. Okay, excited about this. I think this can be way better. So let's just comment out everything here. Maybe I'll be, what's it called? Yeah, maybe I'll be converted to the religion of Kenzie Dodds with this. Let's see. Import. It's not React test renderer, but import from testing library React. So what can I do here? I can do render. I can do act. I can do wait for. This is interesting. Okay, I really hope this works. Can I create? No. So I don't use create. How does this work? Okay, so I can just actually render it. That's nice. So I do that, and then act. Okay, what happens now? Something happened. Are you kidding me? What the hell just happened now? I just installed a library and suddenly Jest is yelling at me about import statements. You gotta love this, right? What the fuck just happened there? I'm so sick and tired. I think I'm just going to drop out of JavaScript. I'm so sick and tired of this. Why the fuck is this failing now? I'm just importing another library. I haven't changed anything. Cannot use... What? Is it because it like updated something? React state, I think that's the latest version. State cannot find module states item. Are we still having issues with this? Where does it say this? Why can't it find it? It's right there. Oh. Oh, we have this issue again. You remember this? It doesn't actually publish all the files. It doesn't actually publish all the files. Okay, so let me try to remove null modules and see if this is an installation issue or this is an actual package issue. I've experienced this before. Like I publish packages to npm, it doesn't include all the files. React states. It doesn't. Why the fuck doesn't it include all the files? For fuck's sake. And now I have to publish a new version. Like, why? DevTools, states item. This is the version. You see here? I am publishing it. No, wait. CGS DevTools. Yeah, see here? For some reason, it doesn't include. Like here, you can see all the items, but for some reason, it doesn't include it in the publish. It's as if it doesn't wait for it. Pre-publish only, npm run build. It doesn't seem to like finish the build or something. I have no idea what happens. This is just fucking insane. I hate this. I hate it. I hate it. Oh, it makes me so angry. Okay, so now I'm going to build it. And I'm not going to do this pre-publish only. I don't trust it. I just don't trust it. So now I can go here. Like we see, we have all the files. I'll do publish. npm publish. 217 CGS DevTools index. History. What is happening here? Why isn't it including the files? Oh, wait. Is it? No. Is it me forgetting? Oh, wait a minute. It's this thing. Ah, this has happened to me before. So if I say CJS, and I have to bump it again, this is insane. Okay, so if I publish it now, this is just, god damn it. Does it include it now? Now it has it. States item. God damn it. Okay, now it's there. At least we fixed it. God damn it. God damn it. I'm a little bit extra angry today because I'm not like, I haven't slept that well. Okay, cool. So this is actually working. Okay, I like this. Okay, I'm already converted by Kenzie Dodds on this because this just reads so much better. So let's continue doing this. Let's see what happens when we get into the tricky parts. So we want to render this thing. We do this. And then we want to act on this. Okay, this is interesting. Now we're getting into the issue. An update was, so we're rendering, syncing. I guess this is where we wanted to await it, right? Yeah, that's okay. Because there's something asynchronous happening, which is we're on syncing, so we're waiting for there's a dispatch of do we actually need this? Get Excalidraw? No, because we're waiting for the save, right? Because on the save we actually that is when we actually move to the let's see. So when we're syncing, we're actually dispatching sync success. So that's the thing that it was complaining about. So we kind of need to wait for that. That's perfectly okay. I'll allow that. And then let's see, render. And I guess it's the same here. Because we're, oh, maybe not, because we're dirty, and then because dirty doesn't. Yeah, that's interesting. So since this actually happens asynchronously, then it doesn't care about it. It seems to just ignore it. But if it's an actual promise, like an immediately resolved promise, then it cares about it. I don't understand how this works. I have no idea how this act works. What the hell? Because every time like you do a then, you also does it like, is it like a zone thingy? Does it hook into the native promise API? Yeah, I really don't understand this, but it seems like if you do like a random like set timeout and do a dispatch, the test doesn't complain about that. Oh yeah, because it unmounts the component probably. Like it runs this thing. I have a feeling it does that. Hey. Yeah, exactly. So it actually, so when, this is interesting. Like, yeah. So I can safely run effects, and if something happens asynchronously there, it will yell. The test will yell at me. But because now I'm like clearing out, so like doing an act seems to like clean up the effects after it's run. So it kind of does an update. It like prepares an update, so within this, so I guess within the scope of this act, it will like go through it, run the effects synchronously, and then at the end it will clear them, like dispose of them. That makes sense. That makes sense. And then when I do like await async, it means that it goes through them synchronously, and I guess also clears them. Or maybe then it actually waits a tick and then clears the effects. So async act is just like, okay, let's do a tick here. I think it's interesting, but anyways, okay, this made sense. So let's move on here. Render. And then act. I guess this should be the same. And then we can move blah blah blah. Okay, so let's see here now. Again, we want to render. And then we want to, okay, this is going to be very interesting, and we don't want this thing. What am I doing here now? So we're unfocused, and we want this to be focused, and then we want it to be loaded. Okay, so what I'm wondering about now, so we did this wrapping here, so let's remove this now. Let's see if we can actually get rid of this set timeout thing. That's the goal, not having to do this. So now it probably yells, yes, exactly, because now it did something async here. Like it went ahead, it moved it to focused, it runs the effect, which dispatches. And I guess what we could do here, what we could try, await, wait for. Let's see what happens if we do this. But we don't, this won't work, because on visibility change, this will actually start running. This won't work. God damn it. Because now wait for this will run multiple times. But does it make sense? Do I actually want to check the intermediate state? Yeah, I kind of want to do that. I want to know if it moves to focused. Huh. But there's no way for me to express that without okay, if I do this set timeout again, so now it's focused, and then I will do await, wait for Okay. So I'm able to, so this actually works. So if I want to, so when, okay, maybe I need to like create my own thing for this, because there's a difference between returning a normal promise, because that will resolve immediately within an act. But I can also return like a set timeout, which means that this promise won't resolve immediately. It will resolve a little bit later, which means that yeah, it's just how do we actually express this? Like, is there like a tool for this? Find by wait for callback, and this gonna if you return from wait for when I said then the wait for well. The default interval is 50 minutes. All right, we'll run it before starting. I just wonder if using fake timers. Yeah, this is not what I want. I just I just want a non-immediately resolving promise so that I can test the intermediate states. Do I have to create that on my own? This is really annoying. I'm not sure what I want to do with this. It's or do I want to make all my mocks not be an instantly resolved promise, and then I actually use wait for? I think that's better. Like that's at least that's consistent, right? Yeah, I think so. But that's but again I don't understand why act acts this way. Why does it wait for that tick? Because then you can't test asynchronous flows. And I wonder what happens if you do like multiple then. Like that's what I don't understand either. Like, cause I do that here. Like I have this syncing, like save Excalidraw, then I create the image which does a dispatch, and then I do save image. So it's like it's not a single promise resolve, it's like multiple promise resolves, and for some reason it's able to actually wait for this. How is it able to wait for this? Because this is like 2 ticks. Does it like have, I don't know, I don't understand this. Can someone please answer me? How does act work? Maybe we should just look at the code. React test renderer. I think it's using a different package. It's using act from somewhere else. React reconciler. React Fiber reconciler. Oops. React. GitHub React Fiber reconciler. Where is it? Ooh. Oh, React reconciler, sorry. React Fiber reconciler. Where's act? Act old? Oh, interesting. Okay, so how is act exported? Act as act new. Enable new reconciler. Okay, act new is coming from React Fiber reconciler new. I guess this is where it's happening. Where is act coming from? Act. Export act. Where are you? Act. Function act. Oh, React Fiber work loop. Okay, it should be here. Function act. There we are. Okay. Is some renderer acting? Oh. You called without a wait. Wow. Look at this. It's promise resolve. It does a promise resolve. And then it does... So it waits one tick, and then it just has an empty den to wait another tick, like a micro task. And then it does it. So, wow, this is fascinating. Okay. So it waits for something. Is something render acting? Oh shit, I have a meeting. Okay, I have to go. I have to think on this. Yeah, bye for now.